Hello everyone and now welcome to a game between, this game is going to be between MichaeL and LawLiet. LawLiet has spawned as the gray night elf player on the bottom left hand side of the map. Meanwhile, MichaeL spawning as the yellow undead. Undead versus night elf in a 1v1 matchup. I believe this is part of an Asia Cup. This was taken from ESL Open Cup Asia 81, as this promises to be a good matchup. Two of the best players in the world beating and playing each other on a competitive stage for, tournament glory. Let's see what's going to be unfolding here on the bottom left hand as we are going into an Altar of Elders, Moonwell, and an Ancient of War. Based on what I see, the only thing I can really tell is that LawLiet is going for a standard Night Elf hero, but other than that, is it going to be Demon Hunter or Keeper of the Grove that will set the course and direction of the game? Meanwhile, we're looking at MichaeL opening up with Altar of Darkness, Crypt, and Tomb of Relics. The Korean players being who they are, I am expecting a Death Knight in this matchup, even though Crypt Lord has become much more popular in the Western scene. The Western scene really enjoying or really liking that go wide strategy with that Crypt Lord. Meanwhile, the Eastern players really like to have that earlier, higher level Death Knight who seems to be able to support and bolster the rest of the army better. Coming back around, Archer is going to be trained up here. It is going to be a Keeper of the Grove, a tempo-based hero, trying to get that hero to level 3, and then may try and follow it up with a Demon Hunter, and then try and level up the Demon Hunter faster as well. The Keeper of the Grove is generally stronger straight out of the gates, and if you think of heroes as a relay race, it is stronger out of the gates, but then you really want the Demon Hunter to really take over later on, as well, Night Elf players do need a way to try and keep undead heroes in check, and Mana Burn is just one of those ways. Quick thing to note, Death Knight quickly selling his Scroll of Town Portal, going for dual sacrificial skulls. He is holding onto his Altar of Darkness, so this is going to be a Death Knight expansion. Alright, Death Knight expansion was not what I was expecting in this matchup here. This 5-3-3 creep camp will get cleared out, especially going up against a Night Elf as in a LawLiet. Normally, Night Elf players will bring a Wisp off to the north to try and get a detonation down here, and it did get that detonation down, but the Ziggurat is already in position. We could be looking at a haunted gold mine already. The Ziggurat was placed down relatively fast. There was one detonation, and now the Keeper of the Grove packing Claws of Attack +5 off to the races to the north to try and put pressure on what I assume will be a Nerubian tower. Ziggurat now joined by a Necropolis being summoned here, as the Death Knight and the Keeper of the Grove are doing a little bit of back and forth. Are we going to get us around? No, we are not. Keeper of the Grove able to keep back around here, leaving one skeletal minion would have been very important. And as you cannot tell, but the Death Knight, the Death Knight cannot see around these trees. It is line of sight, so this Keeper of the Grove could double back around, and leaving one unit off on the other side just to spot what it's doing could work out wonders. Meanwhile, we are looking at an expansion coming in from the bottom right hand side of the map as well. LawLiet says, you know what, if you're going to set up an expansion, I'm going to feign that I'm trying to keep this in one base play, but what I'm going to do is set up an expansion of my own, and I'm really not going to have that much that can really shut things down. Keeper of the Grove taking a little bit of damage. Keeper of the Grove is going to be able to no entangle, just trying to retreat away, as the Death Knight with that unholy aura, able to catch up. Hey, Burrow Rush, how are you doing? Meanwhile, on the bottom right-hand side here, ghouls are now joining in on the battle, trying to chip away at this Tree of Life, chipping away at that damage. Death Coil in time to save that ghoul, but only going to prolong his life for about 4 seconds, as the Archers and Keeper of the Grove with an entangle able to shut it down. Beautiful play by MichaeL, able to shut down the expansion of his opponent while setting up and establishing an expansion of his own. Meanwhile, ghouls are looking to take down a Moonwell here. Another entangle does go down. This could be rather bad news, as the Wisps now walking their way back out. There goes another ghoul once more. Death Knight trying to get us around onto the Keeper of the Grove. Is going to be able to slip through. Death Knight trying to retreat away. Keeper of the Grove running laps around these trees, going to double back around, and with the use of these trees here, even the forest is protecting the Night Elf Keeper of the Grove as it retreats back. Back at home, we are already looking at a tech to tier 2 nearly completed. Meanwhile, obviously not possible for MichaeL, as MichaeL opted to build a necropolis in addition to haunting of the gold mine over here at the expansion. Last refuge, indeed, we are going to be looking at a lot of one-base play for quite a bit of time coming in, tier 1 play, not one base play, tier 1 play coming in from MichaeL for quite a bit of time. Meanwhile, how will LawLiet look to leverage his, well, tech advantage? Hunter's Hall nearly completed. Tree of Ages is already done. Waiting for the Hunter's Hall for those Ancient of Lores. No Ancients of Lores as of yet. Probably going to be going into dual Ancient of Lores when the time comes. And we still don't see a second here. Nope, take it back. Panda now out here on the battlefield to help punish all of this tier 1 shenanigans coming in from MichaeL. MichaeL could be looking at trying to train up more ghouls, but ghouls do get blown over relatively easily as we are going into a single Ancient of Lore, waiting perhaps for a second one as well, and we are still getting up that Tree of Life. Ancient of War also absorbing quite a bit of damage. Panda does have Breath of Fire, going to finish off handful of these units here. Does have one Forest Troll Berserker as well as the Rock Golem taking a beating as it's trying to take down this Ancient of War here. Death Knight sitting at level 2, getting closer to level 3, gonna venture forth, test out the waters, and perhaps do a potential creep jack, take down an Ancient of War or some other units, but the Keeper of the Groves threatening with that entangle as the units do retreat back. Alright, it looks as though a Sentry Ward is placed down, and that Sentry Ward is the Death Knight, as the Death Knight now trying to go after, oh, beautiful Moonwell stop, followed by an entangle. However, well, because the entangle was on cooldown, Staff of Teleportation allowing him to retreat back home. Panda doesn't like to read his books either. Tome of Agility just simply walked on by. In actuality, he just didn't spot it, but it's more fun to think that the pandas just don't like to read their books for some reason. Alright, Death Knight going up against the Forest Troll Trapper and some of these units here. Meanwhile, over here, Keeper of the Grove gonna perhaps try and get some more entangles on some more of those low hit point ghouls. Being able to shut down ghouls is a big thing here. We're gonna use another death coil to try and save it, and well, using a 400 hit point heal to only heal about 300 hit points at most could end up becoming a problem as the death coil does come back around. There is that heal there. This ghoul has taken a little bit of damage. Are we going to see some more ghoul entangles as well, as that ghoul could end up getting taken down? It does get taken down. Keeper of the Grove now backing away. Is this ghoul going to end up falling? I don't know the math if the ghoul is on Blight, and it would have in fact fallen, as we see a cancellation on that building there. Not quite sure what it was or why it was canceled. Coming back over here to the bottom right hand side, well, we are setting up 2-base play. We should be looking at some, well, Ancient of Lores, training up some Dryads, and eventually some transitioning into Bears, as the Tree of Ages is already upgrading to Tree of Eternity. Panda sitting at level 2 will get to level 3 here as the Keeper of the Grove ventures forth once more. This could be a bit dangerous though, as the Keeper of the Grove not full on health, and if it runs across this Death Knight again, could really be hurt once more. Death Knight right here trying to clear up some creep camps. There goes an entangle, gets some damage onto the ghoul. Once again, the ghoul is most likely just going to take a little bit of superficial damage. Death Knight is right there to get another death coil off if necessary. There it is. There's the death coil there. The ghoul, I wonder if the ghoul can cannibalize while it is entangled, right? Like, I know it stops the initial, but maybe the ghoul could have been able to cannibalize onto that corpse for a little bit, and that would have saved a little bit of hit points, or excuse me, mana on that Death Knight. Panda sitting at level 3. Keeper of the Grove sitting at level 3 as well. No Demon Hunter, however, as MichaeL opting to go for the Panda to use Breath of Fire and try and blow over those targets that way. Archers, Dryads, and Druids of the Claw, Goblin Shredder also joining in on the fight, as MichaeL needs to find a way to get a little bit of additional lumber, and will be able to do it with the help of that Goblin Shredder. coming back over here to the east side. Lich making its way down alongside the Death Knight. Are they clearing after this red creep camp? Yes, it is. Are they going to do a full clear, or are they just trying to clear up the Ogre Lord for the item? Both sides being aggressive, trying to do similar strategies here, as the Ogre Lord going to make its way down, does have inner fire. Panda now going to perhaps try and go back the other side. There is the entangle. There's a roar, as the Ogre Lord is absorbing quite a bit of damage. Was also getting body blocked by his own unit temporarily, as the Ogre Lord does get taken out, dropping War Song Battle Drums. Coming back to the other side, we are looking, well, at a Robe of Magi on that Lich. Really still think that the Robe of Magi should give 7 stat at +7. All of those items should give +7 instead of +6, since like the new helms give +5 to 2 stats. It just seems a bit weak, right? Anyways, coming back through, Gargantuan Sea Turtle now making its way over. Lich sitting at level 2, getting closer to level 3. Death Knight sitting at level 4. Crypt Fiends clearing up the way here, as both sides are just clearing out these corner creep camps. Once more, Tree of Life, Ancient Protector, 56 over 80 supply. Gargantuan Sea Turtle gonna easily be taken out here. It's trying to retreat. It's actually trying to go into the water. Doesn't want to really attack. Where's that item gonna drop though? Tome of Intelligence does drop right there. I have seen the turtle actually like swim off when there is a bunch of air units attacking, as an Ancient of War spotting all of this crazy shenanigans here. We are now looking at a level 3 Lich as well. The Lich made some quick grounds, as well as we are looking at War Song Battle Drums for both sides, each player getting 7% 7% damage bonus. I agree on the +7 but the +90 mana on and +6 regen is pretty good. My favorite +6 item. Yeah, it is my favorite +6 item as well, because all heroes need mana and need mana regeneration. It's the question of like the Belt of Giant Strength and the Belt of Giant Strength and the Boots of Quel'Thalas, right? Is it strong enough to really warrant that particular item slot as well? Right. At that point, most players will not know the difference, or a non-strength player or non-strength hero will not know the difference between a Pure Up of Vitality and a Belt of Giant Strength, even though I believe the Belt of Giant Strength is one tier of significantly supposed to be in a higher category slot. Yeah, there's the regeneration, but if that regeneration rate is enough to make a drastic difference in the outcome of the game, well then players were cutting it really close and playing on high micro style as well. Coming back through, Panda alongside a bunch of Druid of the Claws, Mastery Bears. What you doing at 6:25 in the morning? I'm casting games. When did you think a father of 3 would be able to do this hobby of his? Hippogriffs now out onto the battlefield as well. We're looking at still 2 base plays, 79 supply compared to 83. MichaeL actually going into high upkeep. A bit of a cautionary tale, as a bunch of gold is currently being lost. Crypt Fiends getting ready to engage. 2-0 upgrades going up against 1-1, so it should be pretty similar. However, there is Roar, but that looks absolutely delicious, as the Dryads now looking to engage here. Devour Magic, Hippogriffs, Roar, Breath of Fire going across multiple units, as a Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire going down on multiple Crypt Fiends. However, we did see one Druid of the Claw getting taken down very quickly. Alchemist is already in trouble. Potion of Greater Healing used right there. Is he going to be able to back away as he's trying to run all the way back? No Death Coil heals for him. He's trying to retreat back there, able to get back, and now maybe able to start using a little bit of, well, whoa, nope, unable to use that healing spray, and the Alchemist falls at level 1. All right, when I first saw this, I thought the Alchemist belonged to LawLiet. It was a very common strategy for a while, Keeper of the Grove coupled with Alchemist. No, the Alchemist actually belongs to MichaeL. Was that a mistake? Did he really want Sylvanas to try and get Black Arrows, be able to use Dark Ritual, have access to Silence, or did he really want the Goblin Alchemist for those heals? Really not necessarily a problem for undead players, as the undead already has access to obsidian statues and the burst heal of the Death Knight. This Alchemist, however, wow, this is one of those situations where, well, MichaeL greatly understands heroes and the armor system in Warcraft 3. The Alchemist has a large amount of hit points, but is actually the lowest in terms of armor. So a level 1 hero with 725 hit points, but only 1 armor, makes makes him a little bit squishy for a frontline hero. Adding in dual rings of protection +3, normally not that great of an item, goes very, very far on a hero that has 725 hit points just at level 1. All right, units are going to be trying to engage here. Goblin Shredder easily taken down. No rejuvenation on that Goblin Shredder since it is a mechanical unit. Mana Flare now being used there as the Destroyer is now trying to back away. We are looking at a bunch of webs onto those Fairy Dragons. Healing Spray trying to be used, providing a little bit of additional extra healing as the Death Knight now tries to retreat back. All right, more fighting underway. Breath of Fire. Alchemist could be in trouble. Lich could be in trouble. No. Double heal. Scroll of Town Portal once more being used by MichaeL. Is the Alchemist going to be able to save the Lich? Does not need it, as the Alchemist survives, as the Lich survives at level 4, low on hit points, but then rinsing and repeating this strategy again. Over here to the bottom right hand side, we are looking at a rather sneaky bit of play. MichaeL constantly attacking the main base, focusing LawLiet's attention over to the main and all of this valuable infrastructure and production buildings. However, by attacking the main, he's diverting the attention from the expansion, which is awfully close to his potential ninja expansion here. I always wondered why they chose one armor system for Warcraft and another system for StarCraft. Well, it's StarCraft's system. There is a lot less random number generation. Yeah, the armor system in StarCraft is in StarCraft is also StarCraft Brood War versus StarCraft 2. It is actually very different. StarCraft 2's armor system is actually a simplification of Brood War's armor system. But anyways, let's go ahead and break this thing down here. Alchemist going to try and back away. Death Knight, Frost Armor. No additional armor on the Alchemist. That is actually a bit of a surprise, as he does get up to level 2, trying to stay healed up. But without that Frost Armor, the bears are able to tear him apart pretty quickly. Lich continuing to fire away. Level 2 Frost Armor would have made a big difference here, as the Death Knight now trying to fight in this frontline location. Crypt Fiend's able to target down multiple units. I would have thought the Death Knight, the Alchemist would have been trying to use acid more effectively alongside that Orb of Corruption to push through more damage. Scroll healing being used there. Death Knight does have a Ring of Regeneration, heals up rather quickly, as now it is a Crypt Fiend army going up against a whole bunch of Dryads. Panda gets up to level 5. Padna may be able to turn around, get another Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire, a nasty combination here, as the Keeper of the Grove is sitting at level 4.9, almost level 5 as well. Death Knight getting up to staying at level 5, almost at level 6. Another Breath of Fire going across, as many of the obsidian statues have been removed. Coming back through, we're looking at the units trying to engage here. Here you are, a bunch of rejuvenations going down, units making their way back, a constant non-stop action, as well MichaeL is now forced to try and force a fight, or well, does not force a fight here. The gold mine was in fact taken out there, or cancelled rather, before any gold could have been mined out. I guess the high damage of Warcraft 3 compared, yeah, that is true. StarCraft Brood War, if your armor system, your armor, right, your armor was a static reduction. So if you had more armor against a Zergling, right, like if you had 03 armor against a Zergling, each attack would reduce the amount of damage you take by 3. And if the base damage on that Zergling was only 6, that is a drastic reduction. That's like a 50% reduction. However, if you're getting attacked by a siege tank, you're taking, instead of 75 damage, you're taking 72. And the numbers then just really don't make sense. And perhaps they thought a little bit more of a percentage based makes a little bit more sense here. it mirrors Dota's armor system, but then Dota was originally built off of Warcraft 3, so that is pretty similar there. But it also mirrors Diablo 3's armor system as well, where it's logarithmic. Anyways, coming back through here, level 5 now on the Lich. Alchemist now in that frontline spot, continuing to fight. Breath of Fire just adding up lots of damage in this frontline. Mountain Giants taking over Bears to try and absorb some of that damage from those Crypt Fiends, as a healing ward being placed in the back line, providing plenty of coverage, but that healing ward is finally taken down. Breath of Fire going across multiple units. Staff of Preservation saves there. Death Knight now trying to lead the charge back the other way. One low hit point Bear quickly getting burst down there, as a couple of Fairy Dragons are going to get taken down pretty quickly as well. Level 3 Unholy Aura on that Death Knight, as the Death Knight looks to retreat back, providing some additional healing. Death Coil going onto that Abomination as well, as the Abomination getting a lot of slow poison and now getting entangled, trying to stay alive. Death Knight still has a little bit of mana, but will he be able to back out of this spot? Has Scroll of Healing, may use that as well, as things could go sideways. Death Knight with Ring of Regeneration trying to stay alive. Death Knight down to 200 hit points, finally uses the Scroll of Town Portal. Healing Spray trying to heal up all of those Crypt Fiends in the back, but the Panda able to finish off one Obsidian statue as well. The healing wards dropped on this map, making a very big difference. The Alchemist's Healing Spray and Acid Bomb, I am still questioning how effective this Alchemist has been in this undead army. It's been a bit of a liability not being able to use the 600 hit point heal on one of your undead heroes, as the Alchemist is not an undead hero, and well, the Death Knight cannot heal that Alchemist there. Coming back around, we're looking at Mountain Giants making their way through. Keeper of the Grove with Orb of Venom. Panda, no Orb of Venom to be spotted as of yet, as the Panda is going to just shut down this Necropolis here. We're 22 minutes into this fight, and still no one with a clear victor. 22 minutes is the standard time when many gold mines are, well, mined out, and the expansions are going to get nearly mined out as well. 14 seconds left of mining here. Another, 2.5 minutes of mining here, and that is going to be it. And this is why, why I think Last Refuge is named Last Refuge. Trying to take these last corner expansions that are walking to your place on the high ground, getting underway. All right. Remember back in the day, players actually had a high ground advantage on their starting locations, and people would use that to defend. That back when the maps much more mirrored StarCraft Brood War than finding their own place here. Anyways, Ancient Protector going to quickly get taken down. Mountain Giants now going to try and engage 2-2 upgrades there, going up against 3-3 Night Elf, behind in terms of upgrades, as there was a quick burrow on that Crypt Fiend. Entangle onto the Death Knight. Death Knight now trying to break free here, as the units could continue to fight. Mana Flare now coming down, fighting in this narrow passageway. There is a good number of Mountain Giants in the frontline spot. One Abomination and the two heroes are going to try and hold the spots here, as Giants now try to push on through. Crypt Fiend's trying to back away. There's a Death Coil saving that Crypt Fiend there. Mana Flare, however, hitting back the units as well, trying to fight in this narrow passageway. Absolutely hazardous to your health. More range units for Mountain Giants trying to hold the front door, as Dryads are in the back. Abomination's trying to reach behind again. Breath of Fire, however, another Death Coil trying to heal up here, as the Acolytes are in that front line spot, continuing to absorb some of that damage and tanking some of that damage again. Mountain Giants coming across here. Fairy Dragons now continuing to fight. Death Knight coming back over. Breath of Fire still adding in more damage. And what is this passageway? Fight a brutal brawl in a back alley. The Mountain Giants, however, unable to get past the Death Knight and this Alchemist here, as we're just looking at a large amount of damage. Entangle on the Alchemist. Alchemist could be in trouble. Scroll of Healing, is it going to be used? Scroll of Town Portal transferred, as that Mountain Giant unable to finish off the unit. There goes another Staff of Preservation, as the Bears don't get taken down either. What is going on here? So many low hit point Mountain Giants still surviving, down to 1 hit point, as a reveal takes down a burrowed Crypt Fiend. Mountain Giant, 64 hit points. point. Disease cloud starting to, well, really tear away at all of these units once more. And well, we need to see tranquility or some sort of or some sort of large heal in order to get back or get those mountain giants and not them have be a liability. That really was a back alley brawl amongst these two sets of trees or groves, and that being able to staff a preservation units out was absolutely clutch and critical. LawLiet purposely taking down a forest troll berserker to open things up. Druid of the Claw now looking to back away. More rejuvenations may be necessary. Tree of Life with, well, thank you for the follow. Tree of Life with nature's blessing able to pick itself up, and where is it going to walk to? Is it going to try to act as a tank as well, absorbing a bit of damage while being immune completely to Death Coil, Frost Nova, and any of those spells? Tree of Eternity entangling this gold mine in the bottom right. Haunted gold mine over here to the top left. Here we are fighting at the Moonwells, trying to take things down. Every Moonwell lost is a bit of hit points and mana as the Keeper of the Grove now makes its way over. Death Coil, Frost Nova. Keeper of the Grove could be in trouble. And they're now already looking to back away. Had a potion of healing. Alchemist now in that front line spot here. Still, now finally with that Frost armor. Plus 11 armor on that Alchemist. Really, really high damage indeed as both sides are continuing this battle here. Healing Spray, trying to keep that Alchemist alive. Staff of Preservation saves, pulling away from the battle here as Mana Flare going after those Obsidian statues still. One Druid of the Claw does finally get taken down. Alchemist down to 200 hit points after a Scroll of Healing, still somehow staying alive. Orb of Venom doing quite a bit of damage over time, as well as the Keeper of the Grove was targeting down that Alchemist. Alchemist wants to do a little bit more healing. Mountain of Mountain Giants in that frontline spot as the Death Knight forced to use a Scroll of Town Portal in order to get away and perhaps do a tactical retreat. Blizz Shouter, yeah, I haven't heard that name in quite some time. Coming back through, Death Knight, Alchemist, Lich, all working together here. Lich still sitting at level 5, still not enough to try and, well, make things push through. But what MichaeL is doing a great job is he's really leveraging Disease Cloud. These hit and run tactics, I believe they have been timed with applying Disease Cloud onto these mountain giants, and also these dryads. You can see these dryads here, they're taking 2 damage a second even though it is nighttime, and now they are trying to use these Moonwells, and now they're taking about 1.5 damage a second. And once the Disease Cloud is done, well, we're looking at MichaeL forcing another fight. This Disease Cloud strategy slowly chipping away at the Dryads and their hit points alongside these mountain giants. This is just nasty damage even though you're not engaging. And now, once more, they decided, okay, let's do this again. Thank you for the follow as we're looking at the Abominations now making their way forward. It doesn't make any sense for an Abomination to be in this fight except for Disease Cloud, since it has 0/0 upgrades compared to the Crypt Fiends and these Destroyers. All right, Scroll of Town Portal could be needed. No Scroll of Town Portal available as there's no Necropolis here either. Fairy Dragons, Dryads not going to try and engage, and this was a beautiful, beautiful tactic. However, putting pressure onto that Keeper of the Grove could be a problem as the Keeper of the Grove down to 79 hit points. Scroll of Town Portal right there is the Mountain Haunted Gold Mine going to get taken out. Scroll of Town Portal, is anything going to get left behind? A couple of Treants, and that's it. Devour Magic gonna go ahead and finish off those last couple of Treants there. That Keeper of the Grove playing a very dangerous game, down to 70 or 60 hit points, temporarily able to back away. No Disease Cloud now on these Fairy Dragons or those Mountain Giants, as we're looking at the Ancient of Lores and the production buildings now getting taken down. Thank you for the follow. Proto, I would like to see a one verse. Yeah, no, I have not been playing. I have not been playing well for many years now. I just don't have the time, the muscle memory. I am also full-time programmer, so I probably aggravate my carpal tunnel if I try and do anything of that. All right, war of attrition indeed. Force of nature being brought over to try and take down some of these units here as the Death Knight now rotates back off to the north. A couple of ghouls going to get caught out of position, and it looks like, well, LawLiet is going to start pulling ahead as he does have Earth, Storm, and Fire at level 6 on that Brewmaster. All right, Earth, Storm, and Fire can turn the tide of battle at having access to Cyclone or being able to, well, split your Brewmaster if that Brewmaster is in a frontline position and you need to save it and well, your Staff of Preservation is on cooldown. Fairy Dragon going to go ahead and, well, get focused down. Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire across multiple units. Quickly trying to devour that magic right there as we're looking at the Mountain Giants absorbing a bit of damage. Staff of Preservation saves. Healing Spray trying to counteract all of that Breath of Fire as the Panda still launching plenty of Breath of Fires across multiple units again. Death Knight coming back across. Death Coil, right, Earth, Storm, and Fire. Perfect timing to stop the death of that Panda by splitting into 3, all with full hit points, as the Lich is now trying to fight back here as well. Earthstorm and Fire in that front line spot. Alchemist now looking to retreat back down to 120 hit points. Is he in trouble? Yes, Entangle. And it looks like LawLiet now with Keeper of the Grove and having Tranquility can just back up here and cast Tranquility across this army and say, I don't care about your disease cloud any longer. Fire still present here. Fire still running around. Where is Fire, the last one left? Oh, Fire is the last one left. Panda falls at level 6. All 3 of Earth, Storm, and Fire taken out there, as a level 3 Alchemist traded for a level 6 Panda Brewmaster. 55 supply compared to 69. Tranquility, is it going to be enough? Mountain Giants now trying to retreat back. Abominations continuing to fight here. Also remember, loss of a hero means loss of Staff of Preservation cooldown, as we see a Staff of Preservation cooldown used right there. It's going to be a little bit of time before another one can be used. Disease Cloud Abomination now making its way forward, trying to spread, well, disease across all of these Mountain Giants. Death and Decay across all of these units here, as the Death Knight and the Lich now making its way over. All right, speaking of Death and Decay, Lich is getting very close to level 6 as the Altar of Elders quickly going to get taken down. Brewmaster resurrected at the tavern. Coming back through. All right. A Mountain Giant here. Mountain... Oh, a misstep calculation here. Is that going to cause LawLiet some problems? He cast Tranquility and then immediately moved or stopped. So there's not going to be heals going across. And that Panda, well, now needing to, use those Moonwells, not having as much mana as it would have been fully healed or closer to heal there. Potion of Invulnerability used there. Clarity Potion, Tranquility. What am I talking about? The cooldown for Tranquility is so freaking fast. It's already ready to go. All right, coming back through. Who killed you with Human Burrow Rush? Death Knight looking to back up here. Lich and Alchemist making their way through. Destroyers now making their way across as well. Here we are, Hippogriffs. We're going to be going into a fight. Frost Nova straight up onto that Hippogriff there, trying to protect those Destroyers. Lich now making their way over, taunting that Lich. That Lich being, well, forced to stay in that fight for a little while longer. Constantly trying to engage. Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire across multiple units. I don't see that much burning damage, though, as the Dryads now trying to push their way through. Tranquility in the back line spot, and pretty much you can't really make any damage stick if the Keeper of the Grove is continuing to, well, use Tranquility once more, continuing to fight once again, as we're looking at the Death Knight poking back and forth. Abomination about to get taken down. No Death Coil for that save. Hippogriffs getting taken down there as the Mountain Giants are slowed. Abomination getting in the way. Alchemist in that frontline spot, and still with decent amount of armor, trying to pull back again. Death Knight trying to make room for that Death Knight. Death Knight has no way of healing itself at all. There's a Death Coil for the heal again. Mana Flare almost finishing things off as a Mountain Giant does get taken down, giving level 6 to the Lich. Lich could be in trouble, trying to get perhaps another Death Coil onto that Lich. Lich does get saved as the Lich is trying to back away. We could see more taunts as well as the Lich is just trying to walk away. Lich could be in trouble. There's another Death Coil for the save again, as the Mountain Giants are unable to stop that Lich from retreating. 68 supply compared to 55. 50 supply army compared to 56. Both sides are still nearly even as the units retreat back onto Blight. Undead getting up some additional abominations to try and perhaps get more disease cloud and be able to deal lasting damage onto those mountain giants. Additional obsidian statues added here, as the gold mines, well, still have 10 minutes of mining left, but the game may end before that. Once more, using Nightfall, Tranquility, trying to heal up any way, or Clarity Potion, Tranquility, trying to heal up any way it can. 71 supply army. Dryads are now making their way back over. We're looking at, are the Ancient of Lores here? Yeah, a Dryad being trained up, and then a mountain giant right behind it. It will get back up to 80 supply. Will LawLiet wait for that mountain giant to engage next, or will he try to just push on out here? All right, mountain giant queued up, ready to go. We're looking still at more. Nope, nothing being trained up by MichaeL just quite yet. Down to 150 gold. We are looking at 2 destroyers. Abominations. Well, 1 abomination, 2 abominations there. Triple obsidian statues. So we could be converting into destroyers here in just a second. There are really no more bears, so the destroyers aren't nearly as useful, as the mountain giants are naturally resistant to those destroyers as well with that medium armor. 3-3 upgrades ready to go. Obsidian statues, abominations lining up for positioning here. 1 ancient protector in that frontline spot. 60 supply compared to 66. Is there, yeah, how much lumber do we need? We don't need any lumber, so there should be no ghouls on the lumber line at all. All right, coming across here, mountain giants in that front line spot, continuing the fight. Frost Nova straight up onto the mountain giant. Mana Flare right there across multiple units. That's going to quickly get taken down. Trying to finish things off. Death Knight now seeing that level 7 has access to, well, Animate Dead. Is he going to try and use Animate Dead once more? Lich does not have access to Death and Decay, as it opted to not go for that ultimate ability. All right, Death and Decay would have been a great use if you're trying to base race, but the armies are just so large right now that I don't believe the Lich will have time to be rooted anywhere, or stationary channeling along ability, especially with entangling roots. All right, Earth Storm and Fire quickly coming into play here, trying to fight back as well. Wind Walk onto Storm, continuing to battle it up. Earth Storm and Fire trying to own this game here. Meanwhile, the Alchemist trying to heal itself up. Perhaps he's going to be able to survive. Down to 12 hit points, 13 hit points. Healing Spray on himself after a lot of focus there. No channeling counter on the Alchemist, as he is invulnerable. May trying to do a little bit more healing spray still, but he is a little bit too far away from all of those units. Obsidian statue getting taken down. Mana Flare taking down multiple obsidian statues. Beautiful job there. 59 supply compared to 75, but it looks like LawLiet may be able to come out on top as the abominations are starting to fall apart. This game is going to be coming to an end. Alchemist going to end up getting taken down, and with that, a little bit more damage. However, Panda could be in trouble. Down to 300 hit points. It's trying to back away. Alchemist falls at level 3. Are we going to have a repeat of earlier? Alchemist falling only to see the Keeper of the Grove and the Panda getting taken down. Units are trying to retreat back. LawLiet has the larger army, but needs to save his heroes. Moonwell's Tranquility up on the high ground. The undead unable to clean up everything else here, as that obsidian statue survives at 37 hit points. 1 obsidian statue surviving at 37 hit points needs acolytes to repair, but that is going to be the game. MichaeL leaving the game and knowing that he just doesn't have enough units to finish that job. Yeah, Mana Flare on positioned well, able to take down obsidian statues, really punish the heroes, the Lich, not the Panda, the Alchemist, and really doing just a large amount of damage, much more than I expected. Also able to attack the destroyers in the air. So the fairy dragons were doing a lot of work in that final battle. In the end, even though there were 2 very low hit point heroes in the Keeper of the Grove and that Panda, they were able to back away, use Tranquility, reset, and well, LawLiet was able to close out the game. Great game between these 2 players. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time.